Go ahead and get started, call the meeting to order. You do the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll do a roll call. I'm Dave Birch, Chairman, I represent the West Valley.
Pete Christensen, board member at large.
You need a chair.
Mike Cobb, board member from Augusta.
Jenny Chambers, Lewis Clark County Public Works. Jade Wells, Lewis and Clark County Public Works.
Christian Leonard, Lewis and Clark County Noxious Weed Coordinator.
Stacy Barch, board member.
Rob McDonough, board member, Wolf Creek area.
Judith Ann, board member.
Candace Payne, Commissioner, Blake.
And Kevin Sheridan with the Bureau of Land Management, the field office.
Okay. And then online, we have our newest member, Shellie.
Hi, Shellie Haaland, board member.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome. Kevin from BLM,
Yes.
Butte
Glad to be
Field
here.
Office. New weed person. I'm not-
The range technician.
Right.
Okay, so we got Shelley's on there. Do you want to say anything, Shellie?
No, my main plan today, as I'm new, is just to sit and listen and see what's been going on. Thanks.
Yeah, we appreciate you for applying and getting on the board. That's really good. Gives us another person, so that's great. So we're still one down from the people in Lincoln.
Yes.
So we'll have to continue to try to promote and get somebody from Lincoln, so. Person that we thought was gonna, he hasn't returned my calls, so hopefully we'll get somebody. But and then Kevin,
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I'm the range technician, lead specialist out of Butte. And so it's just that second position. We're still looking to hire the coordinator. Just a little background, I just graduated from MSU last year, but while I was at MSU, I spent 2 years working in the weed ecology lab. So weeds have kind of been my thing while I was going to school. While they're working with all different type of integrated weed management tactics. Just really looking forward to getting to know you guys and just seeing the amount of area I have to cover. Working with you guys is the only way I'm gonna get anything done, so really excited to get to know you.
great. Well, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. It's been a while since we've had somebody from BLM, so it's nice to have you on board.
Glad to be here.
Okay, great. So the April 28th or the April 18th meeting, minutes are online. That was basically what we just did, was covered the budget and everything was pretty good with that, so. Any public comment? And there is no other public, so I guess not, but. We'll go into action items.
I have a question.
Sure.
For the meeting, the minutes, do we need to, if there's any additions or corrections, do we need to do that now, or has that already been done, or what?
So because we record them, there is no action needed to make any additions or corrections because the whole thing was recorded. So we put the whole recording on.
Did you have something on the outline?
No, I just had that
Oh,
question.
sure. Okay. Okay, so action items number one, the 297 fund.
Yeah, so we were able to sit down and talk with, man, what radio station is this again? Montana Radio Company, excuse me, up the top. And we were given a few options to go with. I believe this was the monthly, wasn't it? Or if we were to just do it at these frequencies. So monthly at 5, 10, 15. It's like 15 or 20 or what? Yeah, it was 15 or 20 radio ads every other day. For Mighty Mo was $2,700. And then for the bowl, 95, the bowl was $22.95 a month. That's because that's sort of how we did it in the past, so he gave us that option, but he also gave us another thing where you commit to a 26 week or 52 week commitment. 52 week commitment is just a little bit out of our price range. That's quite a bit. It does drop down the amount per week, but we don't really have a 52. I mean, you can do additional and do more. You can even put on other, so it gives you flexibility, right? Like you could do certain ones in certain areas, but you sort of got to pick which one you want to do. Jade and I were sort of looking, the Mighty Mo is quite a bit more expensive a week. But so looking at the 26 week commitment, per week is $270 for the bowl, and then it's $342 for Mighty Mo. So it's, $72 more a week. For that, Jade and I were sort of looking at the bowl, but for the 26 week commitment at 27 or $270, it's $7,020 for that whole year. And you can utilize those weeks however you want. So when you go into the contract, we're there, and we have 12 months to use those 26 weeks on how we want. Sort of see what I'm saying? So we could take a break and even pay for some of the spring ones coming up, and then be sitting here again deciding what we want to do for the next annual or for the next 12 months.
So you really don't have to do one per week if you don't want.
You don't, it's 30 ads a week for $270. So like you could do a week off, week off kind of thing, or you can do the whole month. It just, you have 20 out of the 52 weeks in the year, you get 6 months worth of ads if you wanted it to do that way. So, which, $7,000 for 6 months is better than $22.95 a month. 3 months, that's $6,000 versus 6 months for 7,000. And we do have some funds too for this fiscal year remaining. Possibly we'll have to double check that we could put in, but we also do have $1,500 worth of radio ads scheduled in our budget too. That was just approved by you guys. It still has to go in front of the commission. So roughly looking at, if just making sure that we know that we do have the 1,500 for fiscal year 25, we'd be looking for a commitment from the board of $5,520 for that 6 months. And then our budget would sort of take care of the rest.
Okay.
Kind of
Right.
thing.
Does it say what time of the day the ads will be run?
They run them through the day, so you get so many in a day. 30 ads a week. They don't do it every day. It looks like they do it every other day, but we can sort of schedule that up with them too. So you get 30 ads in that week. So it's throughout, but through the whatever days you pick, you get those.
And they are day ads too.
They are
not,
day ads.
Not like nighttime ads or anything
So
like that.
more
So,
prime time.
Yeah,
and this
type
is
things.
who we went through last year, but we advertised on the Mighty Mo. But especially, I would hear it on, 7:30, 8:30 in the morning, noon, that kind of stuff. So it is good times too.
6 to 10 is the prime time people are listening.
Yeah, and so they are very good about that. This Brock that we've been dealing with, he did recommend that maybe we consider switching to KBLL 99.5, which was the Bull. And so previously we had done the Mighty Mo. So he recommended that maybe we try the Bull. And mostly just because I guess like their population, and he said that the audience that they have. So,
Yeah, so KBLL, the bowl is pure country adult, Monday through Friday, and they're within their parameter where they're at their age range for that, radio station is 25 to 64 years old. So, which is right in our, right where we're needing to hit that age range. So, as it's George Strait, Garth Brooks, Reba, Alabama. So,
So do they actually have demographics on what they've been doing or what audience they've been, or do they have any idea of how many people tune in? That kind of stuff.
oh, they do here. The bowl, so 6 to 10 wake up with Kurt Kittleson, and then 10 they do middays with Corey Wood, and then 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Kenny James is in the afternoon. But so it gets outside. All this stuff even gets to Butte, Anaconda, Great Falls, is on the fringe, but it gets almost the whole Lewis and Clark County. So with Helena sort of really close to their middle of where they're projecting their station antenna from. So, yeah, there's some information here if you guys would like to look at it. But yeah,
Kristen,
yes,
right now, did you include this in your budget for last year?
yeah, we did have some radio ads scheduled in our budget
And
for last
how
year.
much of a change is it going to, are we talking
I think we
50
had
cents or $2,000?
for, oh, like we had, yeah, we did have some scheduled, then we did increase it a little bit to help with it, with the cost of this, because they did raise their rates a little bit too.
Okay,
just
and
like-
when you say a little bit,
I think we had like $1,200 and then bumped it up to 1,500
okay,
on our
Can you
side.
clarify the difference between the fund that the board, the county commissioners approved?
Yes.
And then the fund
Yes.
that's 297?
So 297 is an account that we get for special county grants that the board expends how they choose. Like part of those funds was the greenhouse. So the noxious weed board district bought that for education purposes. And then in the last couple of seasons, they've also used some of their funds out of 297 grant funding for outreach and education with radio ads.
where does the grants in Fund 297 come from?
The Department of Ag.
Okay. the
So we
state
put,
Or the national,
no, the state,
state, okay,
Comes through the trust fund.
yeah, trust fund through the Department of Ag.
okay.
And also MDOT.
I just like to
right?
keep track of which
Yeah.
pocket we're taking
Yeah.
money out of. It's kind of my job.
Yeah, yeah, and then we also get some additional money too that comes from MDT that they get that helps go towards the weed districts to help manage weeds and education as well, which is $1,700 to $1,800-ish a year. It sort of ranges depending on what they get coming in, kind of thing. So
Okay. And do you get that funding? Your mills comes in twice a year,
mhm.
and does the money for the grants, when do you receive that?
We receive those once a year through the trust fund. And MDT sort of does it roughly the same time. And I imagine that has to do with how their funding cycles go. And we just actually received it last week or the week prior to that. So we did get our $7,500 special county grant from the Department of Ag. And then we as well got, it was $1,746 or something like that again from MDT this year.
Okay, so, and my concern is we wanna be careful about entering into a contract where we promise we're gonna pay, $10 million, and then it turns out we only have $8 million. So just being cautious.
Yes, and we have, we just approved our budgets with, or went through our budgets with,
Frank?
no, not Frank, Audra.
Oh,
And, right now we have roughly $40-some thousand in our in our special county reservation grant. And then we also have like 7, right?
These figures were updated April 3rd.
Yeah, and then we just got the additional dollars, so. About $40,000 and then $5,000 in the NDT one. So,
So the MDT funds are actually statutory. So every year, $100,000 is divided amongst the 56 counties, which comes out to 1785, 13 or 71.
Okay.
And then the trust fund grants are based on $7,500 each year, and you have to apply for that, and that's can go to the counties or to the tribes. So it depends on how many people actually put in for that. Most of the counties always put in for it. Some of the tribes do, some don't, but or they did in the past, but
yeah, and they have, it's pretty, there's no cost share on those. Those are specifically to help out weed districts with weed management.
How many calls do you get that people said, I heard it on radio?
We had quite a bit last year, that came in, but a lot of them too were also from us spending some of our funds and doing the HBIA show. We got a lot from that too. And already have done some site visits post HBIA show as well, so.
What was our budget last year? Do we know? Do we remember?
I can't.
Okay. But this one would be a couple thousand or 1,500 more than we had last year. Do you remember?
528 at the end of. We spent close to about the same amount
Last year,
last year. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit more, but it was pretty close.
but we're in the same ballpark.
Same, yes. Yeah, we expended it a little bit more like month to month or last year versus us actually getting a. 1 lump. Yeah, 1 lump sum kind of thing. Oh, okay.
did the greenhouse come out of last year, or was that the year before?
Yeah, that was last year. Yep. 6/9 of 2023. So that would have been the end of last fiscal year.
Last.
Yep.
And what radio station were we with last year? We were with-
KJR.
There you go.
Yeah, we were with KJR for part of the year, and then we switched over to Montana Radio Company because you guys were sort of wanting to go the country music versus classic rock.
And that was Mighty Mo, right?
Yeah, it was the Mighty Mo,
Yeah.
which is their most expensive radio station to put ads on.
Okay.
Last fiscal year, it was $3,000.
Okay, so it is a little bit more this year.
How much is it this year?
It would be $7,020.
But our part would only be the 5,500, right?
Yeah, 5520. I mean, this is just something we've done in the past and it was something you guys were looking into and wanted to see if you still wanted to do it. And these were some of the numbers that we're here to present you guys with.
So so you're looking at how much from that will, when you add this all up together, what the county does and what the 297 fund does,
Mhm.
How much,
We would be putting in $1,500 and then then we would be asking the weed district for $5,520 to cover the rest.
the other one, and then when the MT,
I don't know what you're asking, I guess I'm confused.
The
Okay.
MDT funds would be still separate.
Yeah,
oh, that's separate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what I didn't understand. So we'd basically be doubling plus our deal from last year. From 3 to 7?
Yeah. yeah. But that's also, we also had KGR in there, but yeah, it was roughly roughly that, but we didn't, it's not as, this is more in depth, this is more radio ads too. So it's sort of hard to totally,
Oh, okay,
totally compare them.
okay.
We're getting a better value.
You're getting a
Per
better
ad.
per ad, yeah, you're getting more a week than what we were getting before. It was like 20 ads a week previous to this versus 30 ads a week. And for a lot longer, you know, for 6 months instead of 3 months.
Oh, so that makes
Yeah.
sense then.
So yeah, you're getting more bang for your buck, but we have to have obviously the upfront cost is gonna be more, or the ending cost is gonna be more.
And the other thing to consider is that 3,000, that started July 1st.
Right.
So that also wasn't including what we paid last May or June, which I do not have those figures right now,
Well, in
but
June, we did the greenhouse, so that was, what, 5,000?
Yep, that was 5,000, yeah.
Yeah. Mike?
Is the ad already developed then? Or is you?
No, you know, they're not gonna work on an ad, and neither am I until we actually have, you know, everybody's being paid to do something.
What is it, a 15-30 second clip then, or?
Oh, they're 30 seconds usually. Yeah, they don't want them too long because they gotta fit them into their section, but they're roughly about 30 seconds. 30 seconds long, I believe.
And can you change them as you go along?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I don't wanna do it that way, but you could change it every week if you wanted to, but then that's a lot of sit down proofing and rewriting and all that fun jazz.
You wanna
But-
do like a species highlight of the week? Every week during the growing season?
I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Great idea.
yeah,
Or like
we
a-
could do that,
Or
but yeah.
like an event coming up, do you announce that then, or? is that
Yeah,
part of the ad?
yeah, like we could do like a beginning season, you know, it's that time of the year, get ready. Things, you know, things are starting to grow, we do some of that, and then right at the first week of June, we have Noxious Weed Awareness Week, we could have a special radio ad for that week. And then after that week, we could have another one set up for, you know, getting ready for what could possibly be a warm and dry summer. So how do you manage weeds when it's hot and dry outside? And then as we get towards the end of the season, we can also then switch it up to how we manage weeds in the fall. Kind of thing. So like, there you go, you get like 4 or 5 different kind of radio ads. And then as we get a good relationship with them, and maybe even develop some weed of the week kind of thing, or highlight of the week, we could do that too. And then that way you have them all built up before, and then just sort of, you know,
Have them.
give them, yeah, you can give them the whole schedule of what we would like to have. But that would be something worth doing during the non-spring months, you know, like a November, December kind of.
Downtime.
Yeah, down, a little bit more downtime time for that. So, so I guess what we're sort of here, just letting you guys know as we brought this forward. Whether you guys want to go to monthly, do just the monthly thing like we have in the past, or do the 26-week commitment, which when the contract's signed and done, it starts from that point in time, and you have 12 months to get back to that point again. And then however you use them up, sort of like, just like credits.
So what would be our goal? If we were to go with the 26 months, would we want to start on July 1st or?
We would start probably as soon as we can, so that way we can get the spring,
So maybe June 1st.
we could even start.
Maybe.
before-
Or middle.
We could even start next week.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think the sooner the better.
Yeah.
So you're saying just kind of overall, it's a net positive for the district to have these ads.
Mhm.
And with the 26-week contract, we're getting better bang for our buck.
Right.
Okay,
Anybody want to make a motion?
I'd move to approve Fund 297 for the 26-week radio ad contract on cable.
There's a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the 297 funds for the radio ads for the 26 weeks. Other discussion?
Which radio station you gonna go with?
I I would suggest the bowl, that way we're at the 5,520, it would be quite a, it's, like I said, it's quite a bit more, I can do a quick math here.
I think the bowl is what we were deciding. 'cause
Okay.
that's
Which
what's-
FM station, what's the call letters?
The, KBLL, yep,
99.5.
99.5, pure
Well,
country.
and I think it's a good idea to, I mean, going from one station to the other, maybe next year we want to revisit that, and go to
Mhm.
another station.
Yeah.
So we're getting,
Yeah.
getting everybody, you know?
And it would be nice if you could ask them to give us a timeline of when the ads played,
Mhm.
just so we know. just for-
Well, and we might have a little bit of flexibility. 101.1 is the same cost, so.
Okay.
We might be able to do a radio ad on there for a week. I can't, it's the same cost. It's not like we're asking to go on the Mighty Mo, so, they might allow us to maybe do radio ad on there and then on the other, so that way you, but that's something we haven't talked about, but
Okay.
I can't, with as easy going as they are, I can't imagine that would be an issue if that was something we would like to look into later.
Okay, so we have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
I,
All opposed? Motion passes. Spray day and community events.
We do have, Jim Darcy. We have all kinds of, we have Jim Darcy, Egg Day, East Helena Egg Day coming up. We already have all those taken care of budgetarily, so we don't need to worry about that. And we do have, spray days for up in the Augusta country, Ford Creek, Sun River. And there's like, I do have the dates on all those. I'm just trying to remember those off the top of my head, but usually the first week of June-ish is usually when those become real busy. The first couple weeks of June, we're real busy. We do have, spray day with Judith Ann on June 6th. That Thursday, yeah, I think that's it. I don't think there's any financial stuff unless someone has something to add.
pull your share is the 21st
Yes.
of May.
Yeah, so we're also participating in that.
And you're good.
Yeah, hopefully,
Okay.
depending on how busy.
I committed and Jill, from, Jefferson already committed to
Yeah.
go and help those 2 days. Did we give them any money? We did give them at one point. Did we do anything this year?
We haven't been asked.
No,
Dan Wilkins hasn't asked for
okay.
anything, so. But, yeah. Which we have time before, I mean, we can still help out later, but I don't have anything in front of me for that. I do have, something from the, Montana Biocontrol Project. Share.
See, they sent out a survey too
Yeah,
through the NWC.
yeah, that, interesting, yeah, that's what you forwarded.
Yes, I got it.
Yep, which I believe we had filled out. Our weed planner is very involved with our biocontrol program here, and he fulfilled that and sent that back to her for the information, so that way she gets that. It's good information for her to know and where all those are going. And then Alex, they usually turn in a sheet of paper too that has where they put those, so that they can help GPS sort of where their stuff is going, all the biocontrol agents are sort of going, so. We've been doing really well here in the biocontrol stuff.
You put
It's
that
everywhere.
on your website someplace so people can.
I think that is part of some of our stuff. It might not be on the new one that we put up, but
So I should
that
look-
becomes
I
real
should look
big.
at the old one?
No, the old one's not up anymore. We'll have to look at putting that back up on there, but we have had that in the past on our website, so we have to put that back up.
Well, and part of the reason that we haven't had it up there is because we get so many requests that the last couple of years, it's actually been hard for us to fulfill all of our requests. They just continue to grow. I think about 5 years ago, we'd have maybe like 5 or 6 requests for each biocontrol. Last year, it was up to at least 30 on each one, so. I do know that Alex went and participated in those collection days, and so he was able to bring back all of the requested collections. But we don't know for future if we will be able to or not, so kind of gets to a point where we have to let people know that potentially they may not get a collection this year. If they don't, we'll make sure and put them on for next year, but so I do believe that's one of the reasons why we haven't really advertised it more, just because we are very much at capacity right now with requests.
So Christian, Chairman, I don't know if it'd be helpful, but all your spray days and your biocontrol days, I mean, that's the whole purpose of the lead district board members is to expand your guys' capacity. So if you can get the dates out there about when these events are gonna occur and you guys have time to do that, or you wanna participate in some of those events, I think those are also opportunities for you. Like Judith Ann says she volunteered for one of them, and then I know Mike Cobb participates in the Augusta spray days, but there's areas that you would cover as well. You could go participate on behalf of the weed district or to help with more biocontrol collection days if we want to try to expand such opportunities.
Is this a program that the 4-H kids could have? I mean, they're spread all over the county and they have a vested interest in, so is this something that we can talk to?
Yeah,
The extension.
Yeah, Chair, Commissioner. A lot of times they do have some of those entities helping out in the collection areas. A lot of times we spend time going to like Missoula to go do a lot of the collections. Some of these aren't done here in Lewis and Clark County. We don't necessarily have like large enough weed infestations to sort of do that, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
That's a good thing. But a lot of times there's a little bit of traveling involved in that. I've even gone all the way over to like Lewistown to collect leafy spurge beetles over there.
I was thinking about our Lewis and Clark County 4-H
Yeah.
programs and, if they're gonna be out there and learning about things, this would be a really great opportunity for them to understand how biodiversity works.
Mhm.
Okay, did Melissa say anything about the amount that she would like to see, or is it just up to us to do?
Yeah, I think that's up to you guys, yeah. But we don't have anything budgeted towards that community project. We have to have those things budgeted for. We don't have those budgeted for, so that would be. You guys have the budget authority to use your funds to do that. She does a lot of work, more than just collections, education, and working with legislatures on, for those that don't know, working on trying to get the hound's tongue bug approved, and she does a lot of that. So it's a really great program. And we do the best we can to go help her out too. When we do the collections, we don't only just help get ours, we help her meet some of her needs too. So we do help her in that capacity too.
Question, I just glanced at that, but the funds that she's asking for, that goes to a lot of that extra time, what you were saying, or is it meant for funding the people that go out and collect the bugs or what?
I'm not sure.
Oh, just in her general fund type thing.
Yeah.
But she can use it whenever she needs them. I'm sure that she runs a lot of her program off of trust fund grants too. So I don't know how much she's been getting over the last few years, but I know that she does get some of that, and she does get a lot of in-kind stuff from Missoula County. Cause that's where her office is in the Weed District in Missoula County, so that's all kind of in kind matching.
Chairman, it might be a good idea to invite her to an upcoming weed district
Yeah,
meeting to answer your guys' questions and then
let's
find
do
out if
that.
you want to provide any content.
I tried to get her to come last year and it was kind of tough, but if we do it now, maybe she can
Yeah,
get it on
before
the schedule.
June. Yeah, you might be able to get her at the beginning of June, which would be
Yeah.
nice, cause after that, it's toad flax season for her, so
Why
it
don't you,
really picks up.
why don't you call her? and
Okay, we can do that.
let's invite her.
Okay.
For the next
Question,
meeting.
or like what Jade said, right now, we have more demand than we have supply. And so people are gonna be put on the list, whether we get the bugs or not, well,
Mhm.
is.
Yeah, and we've done that
questionable.
for years, yeah. We've
So
done
that-
that where some years it was really good for toad flax. Everyone was able to get it, but it was really bad for spurge, so we only, just sort of like a first come, first serve, somebody put their name on the list first, so the 15 first people that had put in there, we were able to fulfill those, but 16 through 20 weren't able to do that, but we always move those up to the top of the list for the next year or so.
So do I go home and if people wanna be put on the list, call you then? and-
Yeah, we also set minimums where you need to have 2 or more acres for us to, before it's applicable for us to do that. It needs to be a patch that's starting to become, or isn't manageable enough for you with herbicides at that point in time.
Okay.
So,
Good.
or depending on the site in which it is, right? Riparian areas or something like that, where it's really hard to get herbicide down into, we like to go help those individuals out too, with try to get the bugs in those riparian areas where herbicide is a difficult option for them.
Yeah, let's just invite her, see if she can come, and then we
Okay.
can table this discussion until that
Okay.
time. Okay, how about anything else that the board wants to talk about as far as 297 goes? I think we're sitting pretty good, I think.
Yeah, we don't have any requests that are on the list.
Okay, we'll move on to number 2, the Lincoln Augusta East Helena parades, floats, Judith Band.
Okay, so, I guess I'm struggling with this a little. So, but I have more interest in Lincoln than anything. So, but I don't know that I have enough. I don't know that we can make a commitment to this. The 4-H club is very interested. They're willing to do it. And I haven't been able to get with them to get it planned out. If it did, it would happen after our spray days, after that. But it would only be for Lincoln because Augusta and East Helena are, I haven't gotten those people together, so.
I haven't heard from the Augusta 4-H club, so
Did you write to them?
I just talked to one of the leaders.
Yeah, so if this happened, I would say that it would be kind of at the last minute with the Canyon Creek Stock 4-H club. We'd pull it together and we do it, and that's how that would go. But to say that we can do the Augusta rodeo and the East Helena rodeo, I think is out. So I don't know how everybody else feels about that, but that's kind of my thought is.
And
If
my
we
thought
did-
is, if Lincoln happens, we could see what happens there and then make that recommendation,
Yeah.
on Augusta.
Yeah. I think it's just too much to take on to try to do all 3 of them. And getting them all coordinated is not been easy. So my thought is Lincoln. And that could very possibly come together pretty easy. So I don't know what anybody else's thoughts are.
So why don't you pursue the Lincoln one for right now? Let's try that one. If it
Mhm.
works, it's great, and then we can use that as a catalyst to go.
Fine, that's fine with me.
And then maybe too, we can get the 4-H club more involved before May 1st,
Mhm.
because things are gonna
May
start
1st?
taking off
Oh, for next year.
for next year.
Don't we have like a weed trailer or truck, or you had it out here in the,
We do have the education trailer, but we would have to,
Drive to Lincoln?
reserve it. We'd have to reserve it. It might be already taken for that weekend.
okay, who takes, I mean, it's reserved by,
It's, the Jefferson County Weed Coordinator is the one that, has headed our Southwest area education trailer, so she's the one that coordinates.
so somebody could call.
Yes, we
her
could
and
call
arrange-
her.
It isn't like you have to go out and build. a
No.
boat. How hard can this be? Then
Yeah.
drive a truck.
Yeah, yeah, we can,
I got some experience when I
we
was
can-
campaigning. That's
we
all.
can call to see if it's available. Just, if it's last minute, it becomes difficult.
The thing about it is it takes somebody from the county to have to go there, and if those guys don't have the time, and Jill doesn't have the time
To have to go to the parade.
to have to go to the
Yeah.
parade,
To
because
haul
we
the
can't
trailer.
drive
On
the
a
truck.
holiday.
Or haul the trailer.
Oh, it's gotta be a,
It has to be a county employee.
I'm a county employee.
Yeah,
So do you know what day the parade is?
I do, but you know what? The Lincoln Parade is on Saturday, the sixth. Yes, Saturday, the sixth,
June or July?
July.
So do you want to pursue it with the
I'll,
4-H?
I'll,
And you want to
I'll
pursue
carry
the
on.
trailer? Just.
I'll just see if it's what availability is with Jill.
What day is the East Helena rodeo parade? Is that
It's
what you're talking
mid-July.
Mid-July, too.
Mid-July.
They were like 3 weekends in a row. we're doing 3 of them.
Saturdays.
Actually, it's 3 weekends in a row.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go that route and see what happens. And
Yeah,
great. Staff reports, Christian.
Okay, I'll make this sort of quick and easy. We've been real busy prepping for the season. We got all the spray trailers, rental trailers ready to rock and roll. We do have a couple crew members that we brought on already. They've got a lot of the trucks all prepped and ready, getting the shop, whatever I didn't get done. We only needed to hire three seasonals for the year. And I actually had 2 returners return from missing the last season. So actually, we only really technically hired one brand new rookie. Other than that, 7 out of the 8 have worked for me for a season or more. So we're doing really well and pretty lucky where we're at with that. A lot of other counties have been struggling mightily with seasonal hires. So we're just gonna keep on taking it and rock and roll with it. So pretty excited about that. Got some good news from the Great Falls MDT. They were actually gave us $3,000 more to spray for them. So that's nice, and then for fiscal year 25, they doubled it. So instead of 3,000, we have $6,000. So that's nice. I have not heard from Butte yet, but Butte has been, a couple guys have retired from there. So Eric Waldemar, is the guy now, which is great. I have great relationship with Eric. So he's just sort of in the seat for the first time. So we're getting there. Hopefully we get some more funds from them too. Right now, that one's at $8,000 for an annual year. We got a little bit of money to spend out. I saved some for the spring. For some spring spraying. So we're gonna be real busy here soon with all of our contracts. Sat down with the Forest Service yesterday morning. They gave us $20,000 to go out and spray. They're doing a bunch of timber harvests out over here by we went over to that meeting too, like Magpie Gulch, like right up there in the Cascade Meager, where those two counties come right there. We're gonna go up there and it's a pretty easy project. We're just spraying 60-foot buffer on each side of those roads to manage the weeds as they haul that timber out of there. So, which we got that till 2028.
Do they have a staging area up there? that you're gonna-
I would imagine they have some of those, and well, that's a part of all of that. We got the scope yesterday, so. Nice, easy project we'll be able to do and help, make a little bit of money from that. The greenhouse is going strong. Alex was able to get a lot of that prep before he went on vacation. We'll have our first hydro seeding project here about late May, depending on how Little Prickly Pear Bridge goes in. We'll be out there to hydro seed that and get that all ready to rock and roll. So hopefully we can get it in there mid-May and we get a little bit of moisture to get some of that stuff to grow out in that country. I'm not so worried about it out there. A little bit more moisture and cooler, and so it doesn't get so dry. So hopefully we can get that going. Not just trust fund grants. The gentleman that put in for the Landers Fork area did get awarded and got awarded 17,000 and some change for that, which is pretty much about what he asked for. I think it's a little bit less than what was in the original proposal, but I mean, we're talking like 95% funded.
Good.
For that, so that's really cool. So just waiting for that final contract to come here so that we can present that in front of the commission and get that going. So pretty excited about that. And we talked about this just a little bit ago, but it's in my notes here. We did get our MDT funds and we did get our special county grant funds. So we got those put in our budget. That's how come these numbers aren't totally correct, because we did get some extra funding. So, and that's what I have.
About the HIV show.
It went really well.
Okay, yeah, I thought it went great.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as busy as it was the year before. But which was okay. I think we were able to actually sit down and have some more meaningful conversations.
Yeah.
With the individuals that were there. So it was really well received. Again, a lot of great education went out. And like I said, we already had a handful of people come in here shortly after that, getting schedules for us to go do land, property visits and work on a management plan with them. So.
The backpack got given away.
Yep, the backpack got given away. Can't remember her name. It's been a little while. It took her a little bit to come get it, but no, it was really well received. So yeah.
Okay, any questions for Christian? Okay, Jenny?
Not a lot for you guys today, just in the transition of winter to spring and summer, so. I think on Friday, all of our snow plows are getting sprayed, washed and cleaned, and they're going through the maintenance of those to get those put away for the summer season and ready to go next year. And that means everything else comes out, the graders come out, the sweepers come out.
Optimists. You don't think we're gonna have another snowstorm?
No, they're working on putting those away, and once they're in the garage and the door's shut, that's it, no more snow. That's what our goal is. And then the other thing that we've been really focused on is fiscal year 25 budget planning, like you guys talked about on the 18th. Is you approved the preliminary budget that will go to the Board of County Commissioners for weeds. Of course, I'm doing that all public works wide, all of the programs, all of our departments, all of the boards that we support, having those same conversations. The presentation to the Board of County Commissioners for all the different departments is going to be the last week in May. So for public works, I think that's 5 different time slots for that week for the different divisions within public works. And then we'll kind of move forward there. So that's really been our focus, is just putting all that together. Stage of the game. Another one to mention to you guys as far as a board, I know you guys spent a lot of time last year on kind of your bylaws and getting those updated for the weed district. We did the same thing for Augusta Solid Waste District up in Augusta. They got their bylaws updated and move forward. And Christian and I are trying to help the mosquito district do those as well, as far as the Craig mosquito district, and Commissioner Payne's our commissioner on that board as well. And the Helena Valley Mosquito District, so it kind of goes hand in hand a little bit with weeds, a little bit, just a different nuisance critter, so. Anyway, thanks, that's all I had for you guys today.
Thank you, appreciate it. Any questions for Jen?
I had on the Augusta Cemetery, or have you seen over the years, the history, what have the weeds done? They stay the same, or is it becoming more of a fight? Or,
At the Augusta transfer
Yeah.
station site, I think it's fine. So Christian does go and spray the noxious weed on all of our county owned property across Clark County. And I don't think that there's a,
We have sprayed quite a bit of knapweed in there. I'm trying to remember his name. That was the attendant there forever.
Lloyd,
Lloyd, yeah,
Yeah.
Lloyd always gave me a call when the purple flowers started showing up. So we always had a good relationship with Lloyd, and we come out there and manage those when they popped up, which was always nice, because we sort of knew when the knapweed was starting to grow or
So-
pop up
So
in.
it's such disturbed ground. I was just wondering if the population is always trying to grow more and you have to hit it hard, or is it about the same, or?
It seems to be about the same, because we do some ground, so it's, every couple of years you start to see a flush as some of the residual wears off, and, but we're always spraying. I just think with the amount of garbage and traffic through there, that stretch of road coming out of Augusta into the transfer station there has always been pretty weedy. We do spray quite a bit of there, through there. That's one of the spots where you sort of stop the truck and you get out and run the hose in the ditch, and you walk in the ditch and make sure that you're getting everything along the way. And it gets quite a bit better once you get past there too, but the cemetery is also there as well, so you do have some of the stuff that
Oh, that's right.
blows off and over. Baby's breath isn't a county listed weed or a state listed noxious weed, but it tends to have that same kind of effect. So a lot of times I spray it when I'm out there just to make sure that we're managing it, because doesn't take long for a baby's breath to make a mess. So,
Who's responsible for the cemetery?
there's a cemetery
Yeah.
parks board up there
Yeah.
as well.
yeah, I've never sprayed that one before, but some of the cemeteries that don't have, those, like Lincoln, like the one up in Lincoln, we go up there and do that. I do Silver Creek right off of Bird's Eye on occasion. Some of those, but like a lot of the other cemeteries have like Forestvale, they do their own management on that, so. But if it's a county property that's not managed by buildings or other board or whatever, I'm the one that's responsible for it, so. Which there's a lot out there, and I don't know if we always have the full comprehensive list, so if you ever know of anything or see anything, just let me know. We get out there and try to help out, so.
Then the stockyards, I was White Top there, but I was here. They're responsible for that.
Yep.
So
Yep, but if they're having trouble managing that, just have them give me a call and we can definitely help point them in the right direction.
Okay. Thanks, Jenny. Commissioner Payne.
As Jenny told you, we are all struggling on the budget right now. And it is a struggle, but it certainly makes me aware that this is not my money we're spending. We are spending the money of the taxpayers, and they expect us to keep track of every damn dime. And so I'm a little harder on some of the people who are better at dealing with numbers than I am. And I ask a lot of questions, which does not make me popular. Well, anyway, it's the way I do things. Regarding the Augusta solid waste, Lloyd, who worked up there for years, has retired. And we've got, we had one and then he left, and then it's kind of but the board up there is very active, and the president, is that Steve?
See,
I think,
Balderman.
Yeah. And I was gonna say he's a farmer, but he's a rancher. He might be a little more aware. I mean, there are people who don't work out in the hinterlands and are not paying attention to weeds, but I
Mhm.
think the board in Augusta would probably, and if Jackie can keep an eye on it
Mhm.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah, we go up there and help take care of the pesticide containers that we have up there for recycling, so, as long as their open dates are usually the same, we always try to make sure that we bring a trailer up there to collect those pesticides, and then when we're there collecting, I always usually have them do a drive around through there to make sure that all the noxious weeds are down, so, within that facility.
Okay. Last year they had, was it last year they had the big floods up there, or was that 2 years ago? And did they- So when they have that kind of flooding, does that lead to a lot of spreading of noxious weeds?
Oh, yes, yeah, that's a big part of when we're doing our flood education stuff. I try to help Dan Carlin with a lot of that and show up to some of those. Bring awareness to noxious weeds and how they get spread. We did that quite a bit when I first started here.
Okay, 'cause
We had a couple floods here and a couple floods up in Augusta, so, yeah.
The Augusta floods, I was thinking about specifically, we went up and toured around some of those places, I could just see it all washed away. Oh, so now there's this bare ground there. Where do you think the weeds are gonna come in next year? So, good. What else? The, yeah, the county commission's worrying about the budget. Everybody's complaining because the property taxes are too high. We tried to help by not adding to the general fund by a alleged school support. But we got outvoted on that, so now you get a new tax collection notice and we put that into it. But that's not the weeds. The weeds are under control. It sounds like. One question I do have, at some of the other boards I sit on, they actually provide a little fiscal notice to the board members, so we can all look at it, this is, so we can, and maybe this is not a board where that is commonly done, you funnel it to the queen bee over there and let her.
Yeah, we do have some stuff. It just wasn't, yeah.
Well, yeah, and they do periodically give updates. It's usually about quarterly. So we just
Yeah.
approved the fiscal year 25 budget. And did talk about last year's actuals and fiscal years at the 18th meeting in April. So, and then probably another quarter, once we know the budget's approved, Jade will do another financial breakdown for this group on where the funding lies and what's been spent and expenditures, the cash flow balance.
So it is
It's part of the
part of the
Yeah.
oversight of this board is oversight of the budget.
advisory oversight of
Certainly.
the budget and, yeah,
Thank you.
awareness, yep,
Just want to keep, we've got, Shellie is new and she doesn't know all this stuff. So
correct. That's
we're not
great.
only educating the old county commissioner, right, Shellie? Shellie, wake up. Uh-oh.
Yeah, she'll get all that stuff and she'll get a package for her onboarding.
Yeah.
Now that she's been formally approved as well, so she'll get a little bit up to speed on their bylaws and the packet of the board and stuff.
And you mentioned that I also sit on that mosquito board. I want you guys to know you are way nicer board than that mosquito board.
I apologize. I was driving, so
Oh,
I had commitments, dual commitments, because I didn't realize I had been accepted onto the board. So I apologize for that.
that's okay.
But yes, I appreciate learning all of this as well. Thank you.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, comments for the commissioner? I did get my tax notice. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. We'll do board reports, Jason.
Not a whole lot to report at this point. We noticed that weeds are really booming in some places. Seeing a lot of mowing throughout the area of and whatnot, but, other than that, nothing really to report on.
Great. Any questions for Steve? Gearing up, ready to go then?
Yeah, and Judith Ann's worked, with Forest Service and BLM and a number of folks up in that Canyon Creek area to have that spray day that you talked about on the June 6th. So I think that's, hopefully the weather holds out and, you know, we don't end up getting rained out or something like that. I mean, I'm looking forward to getting a handle on some of that stuff, you know. Some of the BLM logging on the project up there is, you know, last couple of years of where they've been logging, it's really starting to blow up, so. Well, and you will be up there with us?
Yeah,
that
I'll
day?
be up there.
Okay. Well, we'll get to know each other quite well.
Yeah, yeah. And then I do have a season levy starting, so he'll come up, and I think one of our rangeland management
Oh,
specialists
awesome.
will be up there as well.
Awesome.
Can't promise on him, but he's trying to make it up too.
Yeah,
so.
when we spoke the other day, when Judith and I spoke, she wasn't sure what the commitment level was yet from BLM and Forest Service, but you guys were there.
Yeah.
And, they were going to help support the event with at least chemical, and if we get some boots on the ground and some volunteers up there to help, I think it would be a good day. Couple days.
The Weed Control Association is actually meeting same time today, for the conference, gonna be in Great Falls. They're putting the final agenda together today, so should be out here at some point in time, but, I think they've got a really good program started anyway. We'll see how things go, but, they're gonna have some, Kenny Kington is gonna come back. He's a comedian type person. Becky Kington's cousin, I believe. But he's really good at what he does. And then he also is going to present a couple times too, so on different things. So that should be interesting. It'll be at the Heritage Inn in Great Falls on I think the end of June, end of January, first part of February. But as soon as that agenda comes out, I'm sure Becky will blast it out there for us and we'll see where we go from there, so. I think their gun ravel's coming up pretty soon, to the end of that, cause Montana, Noxious Weed Awareness Week is June 6th, I think, that first weekend.
Yeah, it's the first full week.
1 through the 7th.
Yeah, I think so.
Second through the 8th.
Yeah, second through the
There
eighth,
you
yeah.
go. So that's coming up. I think we, you know, as a group, at least as Lewis and Clark County, I think, hopefully we can support that and do some things on that. Maybe that's, like you say, that, especially with the radio ads, hit that pretty hard that week, so we'll see how that goes. But that's all I have. Pete.
Not much. Ticks are out.
Great.
Yes.
Heck sucks. They started early this year.
Hoping they'd freeze a little bit this week. Maybe not.
Pretty tough.
Yeah, they are. Okay, Mike.
All right, I had a few items. One, talking to an influential past commissioner, and she said, well, once again, we're gonna invite Melissa, the biocontrol lady, to come, and she might have a lot to offer. But the person said, the county commissioners, like, I've been trying to get this hound's tongue bug off the invasive pest list, so we could start getting the hound's tongue under control. And she said the county commissioners have a lot of power, that they could write the letter to the invasive pest list.
This county commissioner's never heard of this before. You better
Oh, yeah.
educate
Okay,
me. What?
the,
Were you
there's
talking
a-
to Susan?
there's a hound, yeah, with
Okay,
Susan.
well, she
There
could
was a
call
hound's
me.
tongue bug that is up in Canada. It's crucifer, I don't know the Latin name all, but it's devastated the hound's tongue bug. And when it was first found out, I believe it was the US Fish and Wildlife Service put it on the invasive pest list. And historically, once it's put on there, it's never removed. And Melissa, the biocontrol lady, said they've been studying it and and like Pete said, it's naturally coming down out of Canada, but it's not being taken off the list yet. Because they want to, like you, I had a talk with you, like the rabbits in Australia, they don't want to introduce it and then all find out that it's gonna be
Yes.
detrimental to another
The solution is worse
species.
than the problem.
And But my question is just like the COVID vaccine, they got that going. They've had lots of years to study this bug. And you hear good reports on it, and it's coming down naturally. But the hound's tongue up in, I can't speak for all the boards, but up in Augusta, maybe we're geographic, it prime for it, but it's sometimes it looks like we're raising it as a garden up there. And my question to the board, we have herbicides. What is it doing to the microbes? What is it doing to the insects? And yet we approve to use herbicides because we know it's killing the weed. Well, we can start using that same grain of salt and get this bug into producers' hands. So it'd be one more tool to use because it's basically, it's like right now, I was up looking at fences because we're winding down on calving and have to start moving cattle off the pasture, see how the grass is growing. And the hound's tongue, it's growing good. And so why aren't we controlling it? Because priorities, we have so much other stuff going on. And so it's gonna get developed in about the time when you have time in June. You're gonna spend more money on trying to keep it from flowering. And so my question, I think we need more. It's like I told Jade, this supply for biocontrol. The demand is higher than the supply we have, so we should really force the legislature to get moving on more biocontrol.
Good luck on that.
Alright. But that's my question then. So I just throw that on.
Clarify. Okay, you're talking about, and I know what hound's tongue looks like. And there are bugs that control the hound's tongue or the hound's tongue,
It's a biological control, so you use the bug
the bug,
to suppress the noxious weed.
which is the hound's tongue.
Right.
The hound's
Or-
tongue is
and
a
is-
plant.
So it's only effective on hound's tongue.
Correct.
Right.
Specifically,
They're,
Well,
they're
we're
highly,
finding out more.
typically they're highly specialized species like weevils or beetles that will key in on one specific
Yeah. Mhm.
species or groups of species. But the idea is you pick ones that won't turn to something else when the hound's
Well,
tongue's gone.
Cause
Yeah.
there's a native there is a native in the United States that plant, that insect will attack. So that's why they haven't approved it yet. It
so,
does a great job on the hound's tongue,
but
but it will take out a native plant. And that's where it goes through the TAG, which is the Technical Advisory Group.
Okay.
Through USDA aphids, and they're the ones that are saying, if it comes in naturally, fine, but Montana people cannot actually collect and move that bug. Has to be by itself.
Okay.
And the whole problem is that it's been at least probably 15 years since we started doing this.
Uh-huh.
And it took Canada 6 months to get it done. To get it approved to come in and be effective on hound's tongue. And it is very effective on hound's tongue.
And specifically, I thought they're finding out that it is specific for hound's tongue, that it doesn't attack the other bugs.
Yeah.
as far as they know,
As far as they know, but the
Yeah.
plant that, when I was doing this, when we were in it, when I was still in it, the plant was in Texas. And why does that make a difference to Montana, other than if it started growing again, it could get to Texas.
this is
But that's why they-
way out of my wheelhouse. And if Susan Big Geesey wants me to do something, she better call me, buy me lunch and explain how this is all gonna work, because
She was gonna help me write a letter to you.
Rob, you have a question?
Well, I just wondered what Canada's seen. It's been up there for so long. What is it devastated
They've had
besides?
fields
hound's
that
tongue?
were 90% solid hound's tongue, and they've taken it out completely.
I know, but if it moves on to something else,
They
yeah,
haven't
they go on
noticed.
to
They have
another.
not seen that I know of.
That's why that's why it has migrated its way into Montana and Idaho, is because it has literally effectively eradicated
Eating itself out of
eating
How's it
itself,
going?
it literally has gotten rid
Okay.
of it, so
When you're saying moving, are you talking about the plants or the bugs?
the bugs move.
It's eating the plants and
Okay.
killing the plants,
Okay.
and moving on to the next living.
Yeah.
ones.
So then if the plants move down here, then the bugs follow it?
Well, we already,
Plants
we
are
already, we already have it.
here, we already have house done.
Yeah, so,
It's
We're
all.
waiting for the
Yeah.
bugs to get.
We're waiting for the-
yeah, we're waiting for the bugs.
We're waiting for the migrant,
Yeah.
those
Coming
are
through the
the
border,
bugs. So it's
Okay.
hoping that the migrant bugs move in to kill
Okay,
the
and
nice tongue.
right now, the migrant bugs
Are
are,
in Canada.
No,
Yeah,
they're
but
here.
they are,
There's
are they,
some in the
pro-
state, yeah.
are they on a list to be eradicated?
No, so,
they-
You
so
just can't
essentially, what-
actively release them, but if they
Yeah.
come across on their own, they're not doing
Okay.
anything to stop the
Yeah.
bug.
And my confusion had to do with if we were talking about bugs or plants, so now I understand a
Yes.
little
Yes.
better, so, yeah.
As far as I know, they're in Missoula County.
Of course,
And Ravalli County.
yeah, but they've got all that,
yeah,
yeah.
so if I may add to Mike's thing, I had the, opportunity to participate in what was called the transboundary, get together, with Highline counties in Canada, because we bordered each other. And it was part of the St. Mary's Water Diversion Dam was a big part of that whole thing, but as well as the, noxious weeds are part of that as well, because, bugs or plants don't have borders, no, there's no fences. So we learned about that, and I went up there and I got to meet the professor that sort of found this bug and sort of made it her, her, as a scientist, that was her big, that was her big thing, right? And, it has, like Dave was saying, it was so bad up there that they're trying to fight, like they were in desperate need, because it destroys livestock, like wool, it bothers the cattle, it's not good for our, native animals, it's a poisonous plant too, it can cause problems, cause cattle to abort fetuses. But anyways, with that it was just sort of a good story that where it has done such a good job up there that they had made a joke about actually how there's no legislature in place on to remove it from the noxious weed list. Like nobody has ever done that in United States or Canada. That legislation doesn't even exist, but they sort of made that joke that to come up with that, to take it off, because it has literally gotten rid of all of it. Is a very special bug. Its whole life cycle is dependent on that plant. So like whether it lays its eggs in the roots, the larvae grows up and eats the root system. And then as adults, they grow up and then actually physically eat the plant. So it's that doesn't happen all the time with all bugs, right? They usually specify as in like leaf or flower head, flies or stem boring weevils, you know what I mean? Like they disrupt the plant, but just specific parts of the plant. So this one actually, its whole life cycle is dependent upon this one plant. So
Okay.
from eggs to larvae to adult, its whole life is dependent on that plant. So, which is why it becomes so successful.
Okay, has this been studied down at our?
It has been
agricultural
studied for a
college?
lot of years, and it's essentially, the study is pretty simple. You put a hound's tongue plant and a native plant in the same place and see whether the bug sort of chooses
So-
which way to go to attack it. And I mean, 1 out of 100 times, if it goes over and gets the native plant, it's
But
it
what
ends up
if
being a
it
wool.
lends itself to attacking something we haven't thought about, and that
Mm.
may be why they're not.
Yeah.
No,
Jumping
they
right on
usually
it,
don't,
or-
because they've studied it for so
So-
long.
They have thought about it,
So-
yeah.
Mhm. They got like 20
It's
years
up
worth of
to the-
data on this, I bet.
Not up to the county commissioners, but
No.
it is up to.
That's what this
yeah.
is
But a
not,
letter from the county commissioners supporting that
Can-
would
and
be,
is someone working on that
Always.
project? But who is working on it?
Well, I think you have, Melissa Maggio would be the individual that we would want to talk to so that we
But
could get.
Christian, who is the county commissioners send the letter to? Who's
Yeah.
the decision authority to make a decision to take that off?
either that or to the USDA.
Yeah,
USDA, the federal
APHIS.
USDA.
Yes,
That's-
okay,
That's who's
okay.
gonna be the one.
When you say legislation, I'm thinking we're
That's
sending.
federal.
it there?
Yeah, no, this would be
Federal.
federal. They're the ones that put that up
Okay, okay,
because it could possibly hurt other plants within the United States.
Yes.
Between APHIS and, the tag committees out of technical assistance out of US Fish Wildlife Service,
Okay.
those guys are the ones that control the whole biocontrol issue in the states.
Excuse me, I have another.
Okay, thanks,
engagement.
Chris.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Now we can run around. Okay.
But we could, if Melissa comes, then that could be part of her discussion with us when she comes to talk about the house.
Okay, I'll, if I get some time, I'll try to do a little
Thank you.
reading up on that myself.
The only other point I had another community member Google and said, for, herbicide, and I wanted to check with the board here. They said, and I don't have the recipe, but just, for rosettes on spotted knotweed or something, vinegar or baking soda mixed in a gallon of water will kill it. Have you ever heard of that? Anybody?
I have.
I've heard vinegar.
Vinegar will, but
Vinegar
it's
and Dawn
not your
salt.
store bought vinegar. It's like 99% proof vinegar. So,
You gotta grow your own?
You have to have the mother in it, right? There's there's a vinegar with the mother in
So
it.
it's-
Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't know, Judith, and they have done that because it uses a lot of organic people are using it, but it's the process to get to 99% pure vinegar is because it's a hazardous material.
Oh,
So you really got to be careful of what you're doing with it.
and then the baking soda, have you ever heard of
I
that?
haven't heard the baking soda.
I was also reading
I think
something,
that was just-
boiling water.
That don't work very
The
good.
vinegar solution is non-selective, so it's gonna kill grass. it's
Right.
gonna kill
Yeah,
everything.
oh.
Like Roundup.
It's acetic acid.
Yeah.
So you're killing it.
And if
Okay,
you
so
go back, go out and look at the
Create bare
toxicity
ground.
level of that
Yeah, more
type of
brown pepper.
vinegar.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's non-selective. That's a good way to put it.
Okay, thank you. And so.
I hear that a lot from people because that are against the herbicide. They're like,
Right.
"Oh, yeah, well, you vinegar and all, knock yourself out and try it.
Yeah.
Because the amount- and then the volume of vinegar that you have to use in comparison to a herbicide, you're using, you're mixing it 50-50 with water.
Wow.
So it's a pretty strong solution, and like I said, it's gonna take out your grass and all your rotten.
You need a milk truck full.
All right,
Okay. All right, thank you. Shellie, do you have anything?
No, I'm good. I appreciate the time and I'll try to be more engaged the next go around without other commitments during this time.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, Rob.
Well, like Mike, Pound's Tongue has shown its ugly rosette signs. That's about the only one I've seen, but mullenweed, but I'm really mad at mullenweed like I am Pound's Tongue. But today I've had some antler hunters on the place for the past 5-6 days and they saw some wild turkeys on the ranch.
Oh,
Wow.
So that's something that I've seen them at Wolf Creek area, but never up in my country. And it's not the liquid kind either, like. Two-legged kind. That's all I got.
You have any concerns about white top? I mean, is that how,
I'm mad at it.
well, it's in my flower garden. I mean, this is a personal attack and I would like to know vinegar.
You had
boiling
some
water.
new soil recently?
It's called the shovel.
No, that's, well,
How long has it been there?
Cimarron's what I.
it's getting worse. How long has it been there? It started probably the year I was out campaigning and I wasn't paying attention to my yard. I kind of got away
So-
from.
So white top is really easy to kill in the first year or two and incredibly difficult to kill after that. When the roots are young and it's a new invasion, ripping it out is pretty easy to do in a small area. Spraying it also is effective in a new infestation, but once it's been established for, 3+ years, you're gonna have a much, much harder time, in my experience.
Okay, so what do I do? Where do I start? It's gonna get worse if I don't do something.
If you don't have a huge area, I would spend some time just weeding, just literally tearing it out of the ground. Is gonna be your best solution up front in order to make sure that you're not killing your flowers or having any problems like that.
I will, thank you.
Also, I've seen leafy spurge already starting to flower on some of the south facing hills in my area. I didn't see it even come up, and then all of a sudden I saw a patch of it flowering. So it's moving very fast this year.
That's not good.
No, it's not.
That's very bad news.
Yes, well, and that's the Dalmatian toadflax has been coming up for 2 the knapweed rosettes are already coming as well, but having the leafy spurge go from just popping up to flowering in less than 10 days is a little terrifying.
Okay, thank you.
Does that mean that the moisture content is much lower in the ground so that the stalk is not growing as far and it's flowering before it's getting tall? Is that? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it probably has more to do with the fact that the soil itself is as warm as it is right now.
Okay.
I got a meeting at 2:30 offsite, so.
Okay, thank you for coming.
A little bit.
All right.
The last meeting I was in, you left early, but
What is this? Yeah.
yeah, just saying.
Did Mike or Neil? Jay send anything?
I did not hear from Mike, and then Neil had a class, so.
Okay. Okay, to the families.
Okay, so I'll carry on here. And I know we're late. So anyway, your solo bee cups, the reason for that I'm dressed like a bumblebee and you got solo cups is because at the last 2 events I did, the Gold Country Montana Master Gardener Symposium and the Montana Youth Matters Outdoors Experience, I got all kinds of questions about the bees and how the herbicide interacts with the bees. So that's why you have what you have in your deal. It has to do, it's all about the bees this month with me. And so I'm just shared all of that. So I made these little solo cups, which gave me, I had a lot of fun doing it. Spent, it's
Thank you.
big fun. It's all about the bees. And then I found this poster, and which Jade probably gave to me, but anyway, I've been collecting. It's all about the bees at my house. It's all yellow and black, yada, yada, yada. And then I did a little research, and I have, this is my remarks for this board meeting. And I guess I'll email them because I'm not going to go through. I was going to read the bees, all about the bees, not. Okay, so now we're done with the bees. And I saw my first bumblebee on the 2nd of April. So the bees are here. So that was good. Okay, so now we're off to the second thing on my list, which is the biographies that we were gonna do. Everybody was gonna do a biography.
Yes, and I just have not had a chance
How many
to
pages
put
do
it
you want
online.
this to be? How many
What?
pages? Like, am I limited to like 20 pages? for my biography?
This much.
Oh,
Paragraph.
Mine was
I'm
more
just
than,
good.
mine was more than a paragraph.
are
but
you
that's
doing
okay.
a mini pearl lookalike thing?
I am.
Okay, I
And
just
it-
wanted to know. That
and
was
just-
intentional.
just-
Okay.
She's taking it back after she's done it.
Anyway, I'll tell you the story of this, okay? So anyway, so the biographies, did everybody do their biography? No, yeah.
I tried one, during Kevin, sent it to somebody.
Both Jade and I got it.
Okay,
Yeah, I was
anyway,
gonna say,
enough on that.
okay.
Okay, then I was looking through I was doing a little nosing around in other counties' weed deals, and everybody has a mission statement. Do we have a mission statement?
We do not.
We do not. Okay, thoughts and ideas? Next meeting, yada, yada, yada.
A second to think about it.
Yeah, just a second. Okay, so then the next, let me see here. So the next deal that I have is calibrating our sprayers and getting ready for spray season. And so Stacy is gonna help me if I ask him nicely, help me, because anyway, so I just wanted to remind everybody to calibrate their sprayers. Okay, so now there were at the Jim Darcy Ag Days and at the East Helena, Jade, you'll have to help me on this. We don't take our traditional event stuff. Jade and Christian have a whole nother program that they do. So when I was working with Chantel at the Montana Education weed campaign, she gave me a couple of games and I hadn't played them in a while. So anyway, I found the games, I gave them to Jade, and then I wrote up how to play the games. So that was something else I worked on. And the games are called Pick, Don't Flick. And then there's one about launching the boat. And then there was a crossword puzzle, plant facts, find the word, and getting through the weeds that I also copied and gave to Jade out of some stuff that I found. So yada, yada, yada. Precision embroidery, Jade. Pink, where is that? So we are down to these two logos. Whoops. It goes like this. These two logos. This one goes on the hats.
So technically the one on this side, the front and back is the one design, and then in that hat, that is the design with the leaf. So we were just gonna have the board take a look, and you guys have voted on this already. We voted on trying to change the leaf. Just didn't turn out the way we liked it, so we took the leaf out, and so we just wanted to make sure everyone thinks this looks okay without the leaf, and just, I guess, make everyone aware, so
Okay,
that
so
as long as
this-
everyone's in agreement.
This has the leaf on it.
Yeah,
We didn't like the leaf. So we took the leaf off this. So this is what our new logo is going to look like. Does everybody approve?
Yep.
Yep.
For the last time.
okay, we've already had it approved by you guys multiple times, and so we don't need another approval, but I just wanna make sure no one has a giant issue with that. And then we do have an order of some hats and jackets that we would like to do. I will send out an email asking everyone for sizes. And then that way we'll just go from there,
Okay.
and we're not spending a bunch of time. All that, you guys had authorized Judith Van funding for those kind of promotional items, so.
Okay, so, then we got that done. Okay, so, the other thing I wanted to talk about, or just let everybody know that, the North American Invasive Species Management Association has a webinar on the third Wednesday of every month. April's meeting was about mapping protocols that they're using for the Noxious Weed Trust Fund and
Good match.
maps, and that most government peoples are using to do the mapping and the data and all that stuff control. I saw part of it. I didn't get to see all of it, so there you go. This month, it's on lionfish thriving in the waters that they're not native to, which is another big problem.
I'm sorry, what's it called again?
It's called the North American Invasive Species. I'm gonna send you this.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. You don't have to worry.
Used to be North American Weed Association, now it's it's the North invasive species, Northwest invasive species.
Is that what I said?
I think that's what it is. Well, North American, sorry, not Northwest, North American.
It says North American, NA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it used to.
Did
be-
I say that wrong?
No, you did right. It used to be NAVA is what they might have recognized that,
Oh,
but it's changed because it took in all invasive
Okay.
species.
okay, and then the NRCS Montana Monthly Water Supply Outlook Report came out. Let's see, I don't know what that was, that's 6. There's 6, okay, and which our water supply is down, we all know that, so that was number 7, okay, so yada, 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 pull your share. I'm gonna go to that event on May 21st at the Elk Refuge place in, Sun River. They are now selling stickers. And let's see, he had a note to me. It would be great if Lewis and Clark County Weed District could get a Helena class to adopt a site near Helena. I could provide the guidance on how the teachers, he wants us to get a pull your share deal going with some group from some school in Helena. And I thought about the Canyon Creek 4-H Club, but there you go. Or the Canyon Creek School, I meant, not the 4-H Club. So, and then I have a whole list about all that. Okay, so then the event that I worked, which was the Gold Country Master Gardeners, which was a huge success. They had 200 reservations from all over the state of Montana. They had 190 people show up for that event, and it went really well. And they were given away these root bags, and you plant flowers in them. They're made out of plastic bags. So in all of this, they, this company's out of Oregon. They make them out of plastic, I already said that, plastic water bottles. They give a 25% discount to entities like the Weed District. They have a $500 minimum, but you don't have to honor that. Just order them in, they come in packs of 10 per size. So that was that little deal. Let's see what's next. The Master Gardeners and the Native Plant Society would like to work with the Weed District with our website. In other words, in sharing things that go on at the Weed District with the Master Gardeners and the Native Plant Society. And also Chris at the Conservation District said she would like to be included. So that's that. The next event I worked was this Montana Matters Youth Outdoor Experience, and they had 850 kids there, 45 vendors, and it was another really great event. They had it at the fairgrounds. The only problem with it is that people were complaining mostly about there was no food available. And that's because the fairground requires that you give them 20% of your sales for the day of Fair.
So they only had one food on in defense of the fairgrounds. Our fairgrounds is self-supporting. They have got to come up with enough money to pay the heat and the lights, everything out there. So that's why they are sticklers about
What they do,
what they do and what they charge. There's no free lunch out there.
right, and we know that.
As a joke.
No free lunch, that's for sure. So anyway, and then I talked about the root bags, which they had at the deals. Okay, so now we're getting into my scarf.
Okay.
So while I was fooling around on the internet, looking for ways to come up with bandanas, I found the University of Idaho did a whole thing on let me see here, now that you've seen the scarf.
Come with its own chick.
Um,
So not tick, so heat.
identifying noxious
Oh.
weeds through fashion. So, and they did these scarves, and they went over and above
Huh? Lovely.
and beyond. They ended up doing 3 of them, one the knapweed, 2 in oxydaisy, and then they did a whole floral of noxious weeds. And it looked like you were looking down on top of a bouquet. This was like on the floor. And then they took and they put the names of all the noxious weeds and explained what they all were. It's gorgeous. It's actually a piece of art. That's what this was supposed to be, but it's not. It ended up. So now I have 2 of these. So anyway, but I had the best time talking to all these other people about fashion and noxious weeds and how we could get material to make bandanas. And so that's where we were going. And then I ended up talking to Megan Hoyer from Yellowstone.
Yellowstone County.
Yeah, and she's crazy. But I said, girlfriend, I think you and I are pretty close together. I said, you know, you and I will have the noxious weeds in the scanner and we'll be figuring this out. So that's the story of
Okay.
this. So that's
Well,
why the tag.
Okay, I didn't
Okay.
realize that was why you left the tag on.
Well,
Sometimes,
you know, I leave the tag on a lot of stuff because it's me and Minnie Pearl.
yeah, that's
you know.
exactly. Yeah, there are people,
Okay.
Judith Ann.
Huh?
There are people who do not know, right?
Yeah.
They just.
She was my favorite character. Okay, so, they have the University of Idaho has this whole thing of know the land, save the land through fashion. So I've had a lot of fun this month talking to everybody. I've just been very busy. And Idaho has 132 noxious weeds. Is it 132? I think so. I can't remember exactly. It's a whole lot more than we do. And
Is that because they've been designated noxious weeds, or do they really have that many more
They've been
kinds?
designated that many.
they designated
So
that
we
many.
could have that many, they just haven't been designated.
That's
Tag on her.
Wow.
My hand.
The only thing that we can't do is put a native on it, and we may have some natives on their stuff on their
Okay.
list, but we cannot put natives on Montana's list.
Okay.
Either
So-
the state or the county.
Megan and I had a great time discussing all of this. Okay, now so now we're into, save the date. I sent out a save the date for our weed spray thing for, Montana National Noxious Weed Awareness Week. Stacy, God love him, calls me and said, hey, you screwed up. I said, oh, really? So anyway, I had the 8th instead of the 9th because I was going with the 9th because that was a Saturday. Well, so now our spray day is the 6th. in Lost Horse Empire Creek for, our spray day. It's a Thursday, and it's the day that this guy and that guy this guy's coming, that guy might be coming, but he has another commitment. So we might not see Christian for our spray day. But I have about 20 guys. I have 5 trucks, maybe the possibility with a 6th truck from BLM. So, when we get through here, Stacy and I are gonna have a little meeting and pull together some of the stuff that, I haven't gotten pulled together. And I guess we have another meeting before before our actual spray day, but Stacy will, and Stacy's gonna be one weed warrior and captain, and I'll be the other one, and we'll figure this all out. But with 20 people, and that 5 of those 20 people are gonna help with food. So we'll have, food at my house after we get done working, and we plan to work through the weekend and get as much done with as many people as we can corral as possible. And we're gonna hit Empire, Cottonwood, Dry Gulch, and maybe go towards Stacy's house, or maybe start at Stacy's house and come to my house. And we will have knocked out a lot of space.
Can you get everywhere with a truck? Are you dragging? Are you gonna be dragging hose?
Well,
or-
we'll be dragging hose, but we can get a lot of places with the truck and the four-wheelers and so on and so forth. So then after doing the events, and packing all that stuff around, I went to I thought I had a suitcase at my house, but I didn't. So I went to the Goodwill and I bought a suitcase, and I have coordinated everything that we need for our events into that suitcase. And I have made a list of some things that we need. But it's gonna be our little toolbox. Everything's gonna be right there. And all we have to do is grab the suitcase and we're down the road. So that's good, because packing that stuff is not fun. Okay, so now one of the last things is Action Print. And I have called them. I have the tables that we use. They make tablecloths that cover the table, whether it be the 6-foot, the 8-foot, the 10-foot table. The tables have, the tablecloths have legs in them. So you stick the tablecloth legs, stick the table legs inside the tablecloth, and you don't have it flowing all over. And that was a huge thing. Every time the door opened at the Carroll College, the table was, and even though there was stuff sitting on it, it was going. So I would like to think about ordering some tablecloths. And I have prices, and we will.
So who pays for this then? Is it comes out of our budget or?
That's what I'm gonna ask.
Oh, okay, I'm just
Okay,
trying to
Yeah,
educate
no,
myself here.
yeah,
I'm always
that's fine.
worried about the taxpayers' money.
but this is the 297 fund we're talking about, which is not the taxpayers' money. Or it is
Actually,
the
it is the
taxpayer.
taxpayer.
Well,
money.
it is the
It's a different pocket.
But we have a few dollars that we can spend. The other thing that we had that I thought was I liked, and they're called retractable banners. We have everything on cardboard.
Yeah, Jade and I actually talked about those, and Christian talked about those when we were at the home show,
Yeah,
because I think those would be ideal for us to get some of those.
and they're not really
No,
expensive.
they're not.
And Action Print can do all of them. So like the retractable banner, the 33 by 81 inches is $149. That's not a lot of money.
Maybe not in your world, darling, but in my world, $150 is money.
So you and I aren't gonna argue. I agree with you.
I'm looking out for taxpayers,
There you go.
what I do.
So anyway, so I've got all this information of which I can get to Jade. I have an email that I can send to everybody with all the information about the retractable banners.
Okay.
Yada, yada, yada. So let me see. Oh, and then these little buttons, she also gave me these little plastic buttons. These are plain little cheap little plastic buttons. These are from the Department of Agriculture. And they're just for like hat pins and, you know, yada, yada, yada. Mostly giveaways. The plastic ones are very inexpensive. And I'll send all this information.
Okay.
So, once we get our logo finalized, we could maybe do some of that stuff as, giveaways
Sure.
for events that we do. So now, one more thing I wanted to tell you. So the other day, I took the liberty of giving away some of our notepads to my classmates. We have a luncheon. I think there was 13 of us. So I gave them a notepad and a little thing, candy, you know, kind of like this. And so it started this huge conversation about, I need to do a presentation at our classmate luncheon that we have once a month and tell everybody about the weeds. So that's on my list of things to do. Across in the next room must have been 20 church ladies. They heard what we were talking about. And so the lady came over to me and she says, Judith, and you need to come talk to our group. So now that's kind of in the deal. So I'll be going with the notepads and a pen, yada, 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 yada. So that was kind of fun. I can't remember what else I had to say, but I probably said too much. So let me see. Oh, so for, do we have lots of ID books? Weed ID books, because
Not a lot. We did just order another box, but we, I think, have ordered like over 500 this year. So I know that as far as like for the weed district, we're kind of at budget with what we have ordered, but the board could order more.
Yeah.
It's, I think, $300 a box or $250 a
I think
box.
they're gonna be actually in the process of redoing it again.
okay,
So let's wait and see what the MWC
Yeah.
ends up doing, but
Yeah.
so,
that and the address guide,
Mhm.
they're redoing that one too, so.
so we are pretty much out of the weed ID books for our little suitcase.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
So,
Like I said, we have some, but I think Christian would prefer to probably keep them here in case anyone comes in
Right,
and we can
and
give them
wants
out to, yeah.
okay.
For sure.
You could check with Becky though on the MWC.
Well, and I was up at the Department of Ag this morning and saw Amanda gave these to me and some things for our weed spray deal. And she offered me some.
Mhm.
So maybe between Becky and,
Cause I don't know how many they actually have left. That's the issue,
yeah,
but you could always check with Becky
Yeah.
and find out.
so. And I did call Becky, but for something, but I can't remember what it was. So. Anyway, okay, I think that's all. I've taken up way too much time.
You went over your 3 minutes.
I did.
5 minutes. yeah.
I did, but I had a lot to say, and you know what, we never did get to the brownies and the bees. I made brownies for all of you, and.
Mike likes brownies.
Huh?
Mike likes brownies.
Yeah, Mike likes brownies?
Well, look at it.
They didn't get the powdered sugar put on, but they're there. And we should have said, I should have taken that off of there, but then we've been eating and not talking.
Darn it.
Okay,
Okay,
darn it. So I think that's, and what I'll do is I'll just email everybody this stuff so that you don't have to listen to me.
Okay.
anymore.
appreciate it. Thanks for all your work. You do a lot. You do that.
Commendable.
Yes. Okay, so discussion areas, the Noxious Weed Awareness Week is the 2nd through the 8th. Hopefully come up with something on that.
Yes.
Especially the radio ads. The annual raffle for the MWCA, you guys still have tickets for that?
We do, yes.
And each one of those will be drawing each day of the Weed Awareness Week. For
And what is that for?
rifles, right, I mean, guns, but it's for the MWCA,
Right.
How
but
many?
there's-
7 in 7 days.
What kind of rifle?
And that's
They have
for,
a list of them, I don't know what they all are, some are handguns, some are rifles, shotgun.
okay. That doesn't have anything to do with Noxious Weed Awareness Week, right?
It
Or it
does.
does? It does. Okay.
Because they give out each day, they take a drawing and draw each day of that awareness week,
Okay.
so.
And if you,
I
Do
think
we
the-
have tickets
The
to sell?
tickets, yeah, there's still. Tickets.
yeah, we have some here. So if anyone is.
You could take a
interested, you
book,
can-
I think there's 10 in a book.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So should every member take a book?
We don't have, I think we only have one book left, one
Oh.
or 2 books. So yeah, I'll look but if
Oh.
you'd like a book, I'm happy to.
Rob will take a book.
And then if we want more books, I can get more, I'm sure.
Yeah. I
I
don't know when the
hope they-
cutoff date was, so it's gotta be
Soon,
soon.
I would bet probably at least in the middle of May.
I don't know when the cutoff date is.
Okay.
Okay, the Carbon County landowner letter, I think it's in your packet here.
Would you mind if we table that till next?
Yeah,
meeting?
I'll throw that
Is that
in.
okay? Okay.
You guys can look at it, see what you think, but I think it's a really good letter and we can use that
Modify.
however we want to. So even though Carbon County did it, Pam Twin, she said we could do what we need to do with it, so.
Take 2 of those.
Any other discussion items that weren't listed? Anybody?
Nothing.
Okay. Okay, items for next meeting, we'll do the
Take 2.
county
No,
letter.
Yeah, take 2.
Hopefully we'll be able to, it's the day before your guys's spray day. So we'll see how things go, I guess.
I guess we don't do the shop tour since Christian. our
Goes out
leader
on us, yeah,
has
probably
left,
not.
So maybe next time.
No, we'll do that next time, put that on the list.
Sounds
Dave.
great.
Might
be warmer by then.
Yeah,
You want one?
okay, other than that, take
You
a
have
motion
one?
to
Mike, you
adjourn.
want one?
I already have them.
I'll take,
You
So
only
moved.
2, they're small.
so we're adjourned at
I'm sorry, but we
3:50.
just
250.
too much
2:50.
to talk about.
It's good stuff you talked about.
Thank you, Shellie.
Yes,
Shellie,
thank you,
did you
Shellie.
see the scarf?
I did, yes.
Okay, okay.
It was beautiful for, it being knapweed.
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks,
You want
Shelley.
another one? No?